A little lower, guys. Okay, just a little bit more.
Oh, only $300.
What is he doing?
He's like this every Prime Day.
Guys, have you seen this? Hey, so Prime Day, it's here again, and no surprise, there's a lot of really great deals out there. There's also a couple red flags here and there and a couple brands. Maybe they're selling older products that don't hold up to the newer stuff, might not be what you expect, even though it's a great price, that sort of thing. I thought it might be a good idea to run through some of these. And as always, I'm gonna link all this stuff down below in the description if you just wanna get to it the easy way. So I'm gonna start by taking a look at what Apple has on offer. They have discounts on almost all of their iPads right now, and all of those are a pretty good deal because iPads very rarely go on sale. I wouldn't expect huge discounts here, but if you've been holding out for some kind of sale, any kind of sale, this might be the one. I'm going to start with the one that I recommend for most people, and this is the iPad Air. That comes in two sizes, an 11-inch and a 13-inch, and right now it's 20% off, so $479. Not a bad price. One thing you are going to have to factor in here is the cost of the Apple Pencil, though, especially if you're going to be drawing on this thing. That's going to be, usually that pencil costs $130. Because of the sales, that pencil now costs $100 on Amazon, so that's pretty good. But the reason I recommend this for most people is it's got an M3 processor, so it's gonna last forever. The screen isn't as good as what you're gonna get on the Pro. It's not an OLED screen, it's not 120 hertz, but it's still good enough for what you're gonna need it to do. It starts with 128 gigabytes of storage. Now, if you're doing video editing, if you're doing a lot of gaming, that might not be enough. For drawing an illustration and that sort of thing, you're probably going to be okay with that, but you can get the larger sizes. And when we're talking about running Procreate or Photoshop or doing animation, even like Procreate Dreams or something like that, this iPad is going to run all of that stuff extraordinarily well because it's rocking that M3 processor, which is one of Apple's best processors all around. It's not the latest and greatest M4 you find in the Pro. It's still pretty good. What about that Pro? Is it discounted too? It is, actually. This is the 13-inch, which is the larger one. That one's going to be a little bit more expensive. It's only a 9% discount, so you're not getting a huge discount here. Even when I'm going to some of the other storage configurations, it's still, you're just getting that 9% discount. Let me check out the 11-inch. Okay, so the 11-inch is 10% off, so yeah, I wouldn't expect huge discounts on the iPad Pro. Then we have the iPad Mini. I love this guy. It's a tiny little iPad. It's not for everybody, but if you need something that you could take with you, that you could hold in one hand and draw with, this thing is fantastic. It's really an on-the-go iPad. It's also really good for games if you want to hook a controller up to it or something. It is $379. You know, 25% off. That's pretty good. It's got an A17 processor. Now, these are the kind of processors that you find in the iPhone, so they're a little bit different than the M series processors, but they're still very good. I think as far as Apple stuff goes, this might be the best deal out there. Let's go up here and look at the A16 iPad, because this is the entry-level iPad that Apple has. This is 20% off. $279. This is a very good price. If you're just getting into art or illustration, this is one of the two things on this list that I would recommend to people. I think the iPad is great because it has a lot of apps. It does a lot of different things. If you're already tied into Apple's ecosystem, it's probably the way to go instead of getting an Android tablet. You are going to have to factor in the cost of the Apple Pencil. One thing to keep in mind is there's two Apple Pencils that work on this. One of them is the USB Type-C Apple Pencil. Don't get that. There's no pressure sensitivity. Then there's the first gen Apple Pencil. That's the one that you want to use with this iPad. So if you pick it up, make sure you get the right pencil. And don't worry, I'll link that down below this iPad so you'll be able to find it easy. Yeah, so Apple has some other discounts here. I'm not going to go into detail, but if you are looking for an Apple Watch or some new AirPods, this might be the time to look into that. All right, next up, Samsung. Let's see what Samsung has for us. Now, I did mention with that entry-level iPad that Apple has, that is one of the two things on this list that I recommend to beginners, people who just want to get into digital art without spending a lot of money. This is the other thing that I would recommend. Now, there are some caveats here. This price, $190 for what you're getting, is phenomenal. This is a full-blown Android tablet. It comes with a pen, so you're not going to have to pay extra for that pen. It is significantly less powerful than that entry-level iPad, so it's not going to last you as long. You are going to notice some lag over time. I wouldn't expect this laptop to, or this iPad, or this Android tablet to be a powerhouse. I wouldn't expect it to be great at gaming in the long term, but it is going to be able to run any drawing app that you throw at it, and it's going to run it pretty well. And for that reason, I think as an entry point to digital art, it's great. And you're also drawing on a screen. Oftentimes when you go to these lower price points, you're not going to be drawing on the screen. You're going to have a tablet. You're going to have to connect to a computer. You got an all-in-one here. Plus, it's an Android tablet, so you can do lots of different things with it. This is a very good price. Other thing you should note is, and most of them on Amazon are this version now. There's been 3 iterations of this particular Android tablet. The one you're looking for is the 2024 version. Every few years, they have the same thing, but they just update the processor in it. Want to make sure you get that 2024 chip in there. So with the iPad Air, I said this is the best iPad for most people. And by that, I meant it's powerful enough. It's good enough. It gets everything done. If you're looking for an Android tablet that I think is best for most people, that's going to last you the longest, give you the most bang for your buck, it's this guy. This is the Tab S10 FE. Just came out a few weeks ago. It came out this spring. $429, not a huge discount. And I wouldn't be surprised if Samsung discounts this even more in the coming months. They tend to do that with a lot of their products, especially for the holiday season. But if you want a really good deal on it, you might be better off waiting a few months, but still, it's here if you're interested. I wanted to throw this one out here really quick. This is another version of the S10 FE. It's cheaper. It's $360. It's also at Amazon. If you'll notice, the reviews it only has 2.8 stars, and this is something to be careful with some of these products. This is the non-North American version. Now, if you're not in North America, this might be fine. But if you are, you might not be able to use it in English. So just beware. Sometimes you'll find things cheaper on Amazon, but make sure you read the reviews. This one, I would say, is not something I would check out right now. This is the Samsung Galaxy Tab S10. This is the S10 Plus. There's 3 different size variations. There's like an 11-inch. There's this Plus version, which is like 12 inches. And then there's the Ultra, which is like 15 inches. So this one, I would say, maybe don't buy. Maybe wait on this one. It's 17% off. Not a bad discount. But the thing is we're going to be seeing the S11 sometime this fall. In fact, we might see it tomorrow. This might be obsolete by the time you watch this video. Samsung Galaxy Unpacked is Wednesday. I'm recording this on Tuesday, posting this on Tuesday. So the S10 line that comes in 3 sizes, whether it's that 11-inch, this is the Plus version, this is the middle size, there's an Ultra that's 15 inches. All of those are going to be seeing upgrades. The thing with those upgrades is none of them are going to be discounted for several months. But also, I think the older version might be discounted even more. Oftentimes, when I review these things, I will see people say, wow, what about the last generation of this? Is this still good? Is this still worth picking up? Yes. This S10 is going to be very good to pick up a few months from now when Samsung's trying to get rid of inventory and they're going to be significantly discounted. If you can find one, then grab it. 17% though, I think you could do a lot better if you wait. One last Samsung product before we move on. This is the Samsung Galaxy Book 5 360. It's a Copilot Plus PC. All PCs are kind of labeling themselves as that. Many of those PCs are using ARM processors like the Surface Pros are now using and many others. This one is not. This is using an Intel Core Ultra 5 processor. You can actually get a Core 7 and you can get more RAM in this as well. So it's kind of a standard laptop, but it's got that 360-degree hinge and it comes with the S Pen. I love drawing with the S Pen, just like the Android tablets I was just talking about, the Samsung releases. This is one of the few Windows computers I'm going to have on this list because it's one of the few computers that has a really good pen. So this is one I would recommend. And at 26% off. It's a decent price. All right, next up, we are looking at Wacom. Wacom has been rolling out some new products, and so I'm going to put some red flags on a couple things here on Wacom's page. But first, I want to talk about one of the things that I do think is really worth looking into. This is the Wacom Move Ink drawing tablet. It's a 13-inch OLED screen. It is super thin. It's super light. It's somewhat portable. You can connect this to your laptop if your laptop has a Thunderbolt display with just one cord. So you can easily slide it into a bag and do that sort of thing. It also comes with the Pro Pen 3, which is fantastic to draw with. And $636 is still fairly expensive for a drawing tablet, especially a 13-inch drawing tablet. But this is a Wacom drawing tablet. You're also getting that lightweightness that you don't get at a lot of other drawing tablets, that portability that you don't get it with a lot of other drawing tablets. It's a screen-based tablet. I think this is a really good product, might be worth looking into. Also, just last week, I reviewed the new Cintiq 16, a product I really liked. Right now, it's up for pre-order. It's not quite shipping yet. It's going to be shipping in the next few weeks. And that is why I want to put a red flag on this. Where did I see it? Ah, here it is, the Cintiq 16. So the Cintiq 16 is listed on Amazon, but what's important to know is this is the last iteration of this. This is 5 years old now. I believe this came out in 2020. Not a laminated display, only HD, 1980 or 1080. And well, $500 For a Wacom tablet, it may seem like a good deal. I just don't think the screen is good enough, and I can't recommend it, especially since for $200 more, you can get the brand new one that is phenomenal and really, really good. Or for less, you can get a better product from Huion or XP Pen, which we're going to be talking about next. So this is the Huion store. They are pushing their new Android tablet, which is the Slate 11 and 13. I reviewed the 13. I didn't really care for it. It really comes with a USI stylus, which is kind of your standard Android pack-in stylus. It's not that good. Huion's other products, like their main tablets, have really good pens that I enjoy. This is not that. And for that reason, I don't recommend their Android tablets for drawing. So even though they're good prices, I would probably stay away from this one. There is another Android tablet coming up from XP Pen I would recommend, but that's an Now, one of my favorite products that Huion has released in the last year is the Canvas 16 Gen 3. But looking at this, they don't have any of these in stock on Amazon right now. They have a holding page for it, but you can't actually buy it on Amazon, which is kind of a bummer. It's been out for several months, so I'm not sure. Can I get the 13-inch version? I don't think I can. For what it's worth, you can get these products on Huion's website. They're about $50 off right now, so if you really like this product, it might be worth checking out. Because they don't have those new products, I hesitate to recommend too many things from Huion that are on Amazon right now, because some of the things that they're offering are really good prices, but they're older products. The screens are just HD. They're not higher resolution, just not quite as good as their newer stuff. Even though the Huion Pro 16 drawing tablet, this is several years old now. This is the last version of that. What is the resolution on this? $265 is a good price. It's 30% off, but where's the resolution on this thing? What are we looking at here? I'm like 90% sure that it's only 1080p, but I can't find that listed anywhere here, which makes me really believe that it's just a 1080p screen. So here are the two products from Huion that I would recommend. They're both 20% off right now. These are really premium products though. It is the Canvas Pro 19 and the Canvas Pro 27. So this is a 19-inch tablet. It fits really nicely on your desk. It's thinner than most tablets of this size. It's a full 4K screen. It's beautiful. It works really well. It comes with a ton of different accessories. It is kind of expensive. You know, you're looking at $880. Is a premium device, but if you're looking for a premium device, this might be one you want to check out. And here is the 27-inch version. This is usually $2,000. Right now, it's $1,600. 27 inches, absolutely gorgeous, amazing to draw on. If you're looking for a Wacom alternative that is not $3,000, might be worth looking into. Now, if you're looking for a budget pen display, I think XP Pen with this particular sale is really coming in strong with some of the products that they're offering. I'm going to start with their Android tablet, which is their XP Pen Magic Drawing Pad. It is a 12-inch tablet, so it's a little bigger than your standard size. It's kind of like an iPad Pro-ish size, the larger iPad. This thing does have XP Pen's pen to it. It is a really good pen to hold. One of the best pens in your hand on an Android device. Also, like, the lines are smooth. It looks great. It operates well. The colors pop. This is everything that the Huion wasn't. So if you're looking for an Android tablet that's not a Samsung, this might be one to look into. I think the biggest benefit over Samsung is that it does have a textured, matte display on it. So it gives you a little bit more resistance, whereas the S Pens have a little bit of a rubbery tip to give you that resistance. It doesn't quite feel as natural. I prefer drawing on this tablet. But Samsung is it's just a better brand name. So those tablets tend to last longer. Those tablets tend to just have better service, those sorts of things. So it kind of depends on what trade-off you want to make there. But still, a good tablet at $100 off, not bad. This is another Android tablet they came out with, and this is really more for note-taking than illustration. And one of the areas they cut back on was the screen. That's why it's so much cheaper. I think the screen on the other one is so much better. This has like different modes and stuff like that. Really designed for a different use case, and it shows. It's not a bad Android tablet, but for art, I would stick to the other one. So they have a lot of older products they're still selling that are on sale here. But the ones that I like are these Gen 2 drawing tablets. This is their version of their 19-inch tablet that we just saw the Huion version of. It has feet, it has a great pen. It actually comes with two pens. It's $629, so it's several $100s less than the Huion 19-inch version. So this might be one that you're interested in looking into. The reason the Huion costs more is because it's a multi-touch display. This does not have like touch integrated into it. So that's really why you're seeing the price discrepancy here. Now, this is an interesting one. This is the Artist Pro 22. It's a 2.5K display. This is a very big drawing tablet on your desk. but you're getting a really good pen, 23% off. $541 is a really good price for this particular product. And so if you're looking to draw on something big out of all of the deals that I've seen across all of these manufacturers, this is the one I would go for. Best price for the value that you're getting. You can get better things with that Huion 27 that I talked about earlier, but that's significantly more expensive. It costs almost 3 times as much. So this is the XP Pen Artist Pro 16 Gen 2. This is a 2.5K display as well, just like the one we just looked at. Now, a lot of people ask me, what is on your desk? What are you using? I don't think this is the best product I have, but it is the one on my desk, and it is the one I've been using for a year now. It is the one that's sitting right there right now, hooked up to my computer. It's the Artist Pro 16, and the main reason why is it's fairly lightweight, so I can slide it away when I don't need it, and then I can pull it out. It's got feet on the back. I can unfold it. I technically liked the Canvas 16 Gen 3 better than this. I thought the screen was a little better. I liked that there were shortcut keys on it, but the reason why this is under my desk is because it has feet. The Canvas 16 needs some kind of external stand. That was the deal breaker for me. I like to just pull it out, pop it up, and draw. You know, just works really well because I'm not drawing full time, but I do draw from time to time, and it's just nice to have it that way. And $474 is a pretty good price. I was really hoping to shout out more Windows laptops here, but many of the ones that come with pens, they're good laptops. Like this is the Asus ProArt PX13. I love this laptop. It comes in this matte black, and it just is one of the most beautiful laptops I've ever seen in my entire life. It's 360-degree laptop. The pen is a Windows pen, Windows Pen Protocol WPP, and unfortunately it's not that great, and that's the main reason I don't suggest it. At full price as your primary drawing tool, I wouldn't recommend this, but if you want a really good laptop that just happens to come with a pen that's decent, you know, it's not on sale, so maybe wait. Still a great laptop. This is the Microsoft Surface Pro 12-inch that I reviewed just a few weeks ago. I really liked this, but I think this is kind of pricey, even at 11% off, which, you know, isn't a bad price. Well, I still think it is a bad price because you have to add the pen, which is $100. You have to add a keyboard cover, which is another $150. So really what you're looking at here is it's a Snapdragon PC. It's not like an Intel-based processor like the last one we just looked at. I'm a little tepid on this one, but it is on sale. It is brand new, so I threw it on here. Yeah, so those are some of the deals out there. Some of them are very good. Some of them are just kind of okay. You know, like with the Apple products, they're not great deals, but Apple never discounts their stuff, so it might be worth looking into. Samsung, some really good deals there. Some other things that I think you could probably get better deals on. But yeah, it just kind of depends on what you're looking for. And I hope that was helpful if you're in the market for a graphics tablet or an Android tablet or something like that. Anyway, thank you all for watching this video. I'll talk to you all in a couple of days.